Right, 9 October 2024, and today I would like to give you my update, so my daily update on all the trending news that is taking place in Zimbabwe, and we do this on a daily basis. And yesterday, I apologize, I had to cut off. I don't know what happened, but as I was talking, I just got cut off at the end. So what I was just about to show you yesterday, right, before I went any further, was this shirt. So this is an amazing shirt that I was wearing yesterday. This is sponsored, guys. So if you want to buy this beautiful shirt, this is one of the most in-demand shirts ever by Tari Designs. So when I wear this shirt, everywhere I go, people just look at me. This, you cannot look away from this shirt. So you can go to Tari Designs. So taridesigns.com, or you can call me. We arrange it for you. So that is the shirt. Amazing shirt. This is unbelievably nice. So I'm sorry about that. Yesterday I got cut off when I was in the middle of my broadcast. So that is, I think, about $100 for everything, including shipping. It's a designer shirt, and it was given to me by Tari. So now let's go to today's news. And this is a stunning day. It's amazing. What is going to happen today is you have never seen this. This is shocking. Zimbabwe is becoming a very different country. And let's start with what has happened in Harare. So in Harare, the police have reported that there is a group, LGBT, I think it's LGBTQ group, that is now established with over 1,000 members. So listen very carefully to me. I'm not judging. I'm just saying that this is what the police have said. There is now an established group of over 1,000 LGBTQ members in Zimbabwe, and it's a very active group which is operating within Harare. So it's a social group, and normally they operate through WhatsApp. So if you're into that kind of thing, you know where to go. In Harare, it's a massive development because many youngsters are now adopting that kind of lifestyle. So I don't know if the laws are aligned to what is happening, but this is the situation right now in Harare. And this came about after a young man joined the group, and obviously the parents are not used to it and they do not accept that lifestyle. So the police were called in, and then this was discovered that there is that group with over 1,000 members, LGBTQ group in Harare. So very controversial, because the law of Zimbabwe does not allow LGBTQ, but this is now a reality that you've got 1,000 people who are in that group, only guys. So we've got at least 1,000 guys who are LGBTQ in Harare. So I don't want to put my opinions into it, but I just wanted you to know that this is what is trending. No one was arrested. The young man was sent back home, and obviously they removed him from the WhatsApp group. They blocked his phone, but that is how it is. I do not know how the law of Zimbabwe is going to be modified in that kind of situation. We've got so many LGBTQ people, as much as 1,000, especially among the young people. This is becoming something that everyone has to confront as a society. How do you move forward now that the reality is facing you? If it happens at your house, what are you going to do? Are you going to be ready to understand this situation? So 1,000 at least, and that story, you can find it in the Herald newspaper. So now let's go to my main story. In Bulawayo, the Bulawayo City Council has announced a new partnership with Lebanmon. So Lebanmon is a company that is Chinese. It is linked to Thomas Chidzomba here. He is a prominent ZANU-PF member. This company has now moved to Bulawayo for their second project in the special economic zone. So this is a very controversial project, a second controversial project by this company, Lebanmon. You remember that we were talking about their project in Urungwe, where they were setting up a cement plant, which was opposed by the military. So the military were not happy that these guys were going to be polluting the water in the dam. Now they've gone to Bulawayo and they've set up the special economic zone. And I think this is called Umvulima or Umvumila special economic zone. What is controversial about this is that this special economic zone has not been launched. So this special economic zone has not been launched. No one knows how these guys got this concession, because you don't pay tax here. You get a tax holiday. The Bulawayo City Council has not completed the feasibility study. And what other person was told that this is not open? So this is crazy. I don't know how these guys managed to move around like this. This is Lebanmon, clearly something authorized by Mnangagwa and the people around him. This Chinese company is dominating the cement sector of Zimbabwe, but moving in a very strange manner. And the way that they rendered Bulawayo is very strange, because that special economic zone is not yet open. No one knows when it was opened. And now the Bulawayo City Council is suddenly saying it's open. So what do I do if I want to to go into that special economic zone? How do I go there? So that information is not openly available. I've been searching the internet, and all you can see is the concept. So there's the concept here of the smart city, but it makes no sense because there's no data. What is it all about? Where is it located? And how do you participate in this special economic zone? What are the long-term and short-term goals? Who is the management of this smart city? It's crazy what is happening at Bulawayo. And I don't think this is something to do with David Coltart. What I think is that the former town clerk, Christopher Dube, is the one who was in charge of this project. And as I said to you, Christopher Dube was doing crazy stuff in the Bulawayo City Council. And I hope that they fix this, because Bulawayo is ready for development. But I don't think that this is the approach that is to be taken. So Bulawayo people, I expect them to try to understand what is going on here, and also to show their strength, show us the strength that he showed us during Highlanders match, when a strange company just comes and sets up, and you don't even know what it's all about. Where are they? What is going to be happening? How did they get in here? It's crazy what is happening with this company, Lebanmon, which is linked to ZANU-PF and also to Chidzomba here, who is the former candidate for Chinoi, the guy who took out his balls after he lost the elections to the CCC. So very interesting. I'll be following this very, very closely. If you're in Bulawayo, you understand how the city fails to attract investment. Any investment that comes into Bulawayo is needed, but there needs to be a coordinated and strategic approach. And I think that is what is lacking right now in Bulawayo. I hope that with the new mayor, David Coltart, things are going to get better. But as things stand right now, this Lebanmon deal, I've got a lot of questions about it. I don't think this is the right approach to take when going into these kind of things. Then in Harare today, there's going to be the burial of Tshinga Dube. Colonel Tshinga Dube is going to be buried today. Mnangagwa is going to be officiating at that burial. And you can see the family here of Tshinga Dube. So the body is already in Harare, and the burial is going to take place this morning. So I'll be giving you coverage. If anything significant comes up, I'm going to give you coverage of this burial. So this is one of the more frequent visits that are taking place to the National Heroes Acre, and Tshinga Dube dying this past week. And I don't even want to speculate because I've got so many calls from senior ZANU-PF members saying, no, he died of kidney failure. You're saying he died of poisoning, but he didn't. All I know is that the last meeting that he had attended, the last public meeting, he was speaking against Mnangagwa's plans to go to 2030. And he was saying they will go over there and find out from Mnangagwa what is really happening, what is it that he's planning with his 2030. Then I want to go to, before I go any further, my favorite YouTuber here, Kevin Berot, has issued produced a very interesting video. You can go check it out. He's moved to his new house, and I'm interested in seeing that he's now shooting with his wife. So you can go over and check there. Most wives of YouTubers, they don't even want to be near YouTube. So he is probably the only person right now on YouTube whose wife is also showing up on YouTube. So check out his videos. Very interesting stuff. And also working very closely with Kunda Chitima. Then in Harare, this guy is Felix Mona. I think he's the Minister of Infrastructure or something of that nature. This man, all his projects are not finishing. He is the one that does projects from Mnangagwa. Nothing is finishing. The airport not finished. The villa is not finished. Mbudzi is not finished. Nothing is finished. The roads that they're building, they built are collapsing before they even last a week or two. And now he claims that they have finished something at Mbudzi. But Felix Mona, the worst person in terms of infrastructure. So this is what is happening. He claims that Mbudzi is finished. Mbudzi interchange was supposed to be finished in May. That thing is going to miss all the deadlines. Eventually, it will become a white elephant. You remember what happened at that Waterfalls Bridge, which took 10 years to finish. A little bridge. This is what's happening with Mbudzi interchange. All the money has been stolen, and the people have ran away. We're supposed to build there. So it's a mess. People are just driving around the Mbudzi interchange, nothing moving. And they are opening one section and then bringing some YouTubers to take video. But it's a mess. It's a mess at Mbudzi interchange. Everything that Mnangagwa is starting is not finishing. His projects are a mess. The whole country is surrounded by projects that are not finished, and we need a new leader in Zimbabwe. Then let's go to Botswana. Botswana businessman Siabelo. Siabelo. I want to say this name properly. Siabelo Hlaselo. Yes, died on Sunday, and he died under mysterious circumstances. He is a bus operator, or was a bus operator, and was facing many challenges in his business, including freak accidents and low business. So he was found dead at his house in a suspected case well, it was, I guess people say he was suffering some emotional issues, and that is how he ended up dying. But there was no note at the scene. So I do not know what has happened over there. This is a trending story in Botswana. So you can go check it out on all the platforms. Businessman here, very prominent, passed on Sunday. Then in South Africa, there is a massive business story. And this is to do with South Africa based or headquartered Standard Bank. Standard Bank of South Africa is one of the biggest banks, especially on the mortgage side. This is the biggest bank in South Africa. They've got the most mortgage bonds. And what has happened is that due to technology, Standard Bank has issued or launched a new payment system together with BankSave and payment company in South Africa. And they have reported that payments through PayShap. So PayShap is a new way of paying through your cell phone. And they've now increased their instant payments by 10 times in the last year. And PayShap is a company or a platform that is owned by ACI worldwide. It has been introduced in South Africa in March 2023. And after its introduction, it has since processed 46 billion rands worth of transactions in just over 15 months, because it's very easy to pay someone. You just go into your bank account and click Pay Sharp, you put the number and then their name will pop up and you can pay any bank. So it's almost like central banking way of paying. So it's owned by BankSafe and Payments Association of South Africa. Standard Bank has massively benefited from PaySharp, with instant transactions increasing tenfold within the last year just on PaySharp. So this is amazing, and I think the banks in Zimbabwe must consider this. It's so hard to move money between banks, and this is instant. So you can move money from Standard Bank to Absa to Capitec suddenly and immediately with a little effort through PaySharp. And the bank head office I'm showing you here is their office at Rosebank. So this is their latest offices. When I went into South Africa, my first job was at Standard Bank, Simmons. And at that time, there were 10,000 people in that building. So that was amazing. Coming from Zimbabwe, from a little bank, going to Standard Bank in South Africa. So that was my first bank job in 2006 in South Africa. So amazing stuff. Then still in South Africa, the Passenger Rail Authority of South Africa has asked people to assist with reporting crimes. They are facing massive crime in terms of people throwing stones at the train and stealing cables. So this is a massive problem in South Africa. The trains are just disrupted by people. And then we go to Checkers 360. Checkers 360 is a massive delivery company here. Almost everyone is now using Checkers 360. And the young man who is said to have developed the app is called Donald Valoy. So the reason why I'm raising this is because this is a partnership between Checkers and RTT. RTT is a logistic company. You can see their truck there on the left. So Checkers owns, or Shoprite, the parent company of Checkers, owns 50%, and the Competition Commission of South Africa has today approved a transaction where Shoprite will now be allowed to buy 50% of this Checkers 360, and they'll own it outright. And the company is called Pingo, the company that they formed together. This Checkers 360 is run on a company platform called Pingo, and Pingo was owned 50% by RTT and 50% by Checkers, but the Competition Commission has today said they can now buy that company. So massive Donald Valoy for developing that app, which is worth millions. They are the biggest app in South Africa for delivery. So if you want anything delivered in South Africa, let's say you want to buy groceries, these little bikes will be at your house in a short space of time. And I don't know in Zimbabwe who's got this thing. I saw when I was in Harare last time, there's a whole bunch of these guys also with the bikes. And in terms of the South African rand, the South African rand is doing so well. So ever since the GNU came into place, I just want to show you what has been happening. So that is the US dollar to the rand. And this is what we call lower highs and lower lows. So a lower low and a lower high. This thing is coming from around 20, where it formed a double top. And right now it's now doing a lower lows and lower highs. I'm anticipating that this thing is going to go to 15. But if you've ever traded the rand, you understand what is being called, what being destroyed means. The rand is so volatile, the most volatile currency that you can ever trade. I've traded the rand, and at exactly 9 o'clock, something happens. And when it happens, it just moves randomly. It can just take you out. And the spread is so big. And sometimes it moves in a random and unexplainable manner. You can easily make millions with this thing if you've got money. So a lot of money is going to be made with the rand. So the guys who know how to trade, I do not want to forecast, but I would like to say with this GNU, the way it is going, you are going to make a lot of money here. So let me explain to you what I mean about how things are going. The new Minister of Home Affairs is showing you what delivery is. This guy is delivering, doing very, very well. Yeah, on Thursday, he's going to be launching, so that is Leon Schreiber, the Minister of Home Affairs. He's going to be launching a remote work visa. He's also going to be launching South Africa's first point-based system for skilled work. This is amazing. These guys are moving so fast, and they're developing Home Affairs of South Africa into something, a lean, mean machine, and you'll soon be in a position where you can say Home Affairs is no longer corrupt. Give it a few months, you'll be talking a different story here. And that skilled worker visa, minimum salary of 650,000 rands. That is how much you'll be required to earn if you're going to be on the skilled worker visa. And the points increase as you go. So amazing stuff in South Africa. I like what they're doing. The DA doing quite a good job in this new GNU. But I think I've covered a lot here. I tend to, I don't know how I got to 20 minutes. I was hoping to be to take a shorter time. But let's recap what we've said. Firstly, I mentioned that there is a massive development in Harare where a large number of LGBTQ people have now obviously came into the scene. And I want people to understand what that means. It means when you talk about LGBTQ, your language has to be a little bit different because you could be talking about other people and hurting their feelings. So I know when I'm talking mostly with Zimbabwean guys, they find it very difficult to process this. But as you go to different countries, it's very different. So this thing is, maybe there's need to re-educate everyone and also to see how the law in Zimbabwe is going to be modified. This is very controversial in Zimbabwe, where there is a law against LGBTQ. You should actually be arrested. But what I've seen is that the police are no longer arresting anyone because the large number of people that we're talking about here, we're talking about 1,000 guys just in Harare. And this is something that people will just have to deal with. It's quite common now. And there are meetups for guys in Harare now. Something that would never have happened during my time. And this would never have happened. I tell you, in my time when I was at school or at varsity, it's almost unbelievable what we're talking about now, that we've got 1,000 guys openly running a club, LGBTQ club in Harare. And it's open. Young guys are jumping into the group and looking for boyfriends. And we even have the first marriage between Zimbabwean guys last week in the UK. And when we were young, I was staying in the village. My grandfather, Gambakwe, not the great Gambakwe, but Gambakwe. We used to spend so much time together. And every night, a young man was not allowed to sit with the women. That is one of the things at the Gambakwe homestead. So every man, so there were obviously many families within a compound. And all the men were not allowed to sit with the women. So we had what is called edare or padare at the center. So each family would cook, or each wife would cook, and every man would eat at the center. There's no man who would eat with their mother or with the woman. So I guess you see what I'm talking about. A man would never be allowed to eat in the same house or in the same room with women. You all went to the center and ate there with other men and discussing things that have to do with guys. So that is how we grew up in the village. And Also, in the morning, every man would go and sleep with other men that side, not with the women. And then in the morning, when you go to the fields, you go straight, and all the men are doing men's chores, women are doing women's chores. So that is how it was. But times have changed. So that is Harare for you. Harare becoming a massive place where over 1,000 people in LGBTQ relationships have been found and are running an active group right now as we speak. I want to just quickly look at the newspapers. I want to see if the H Metro newspaper, the TMZ of Zimbabwe, is out. That newspaper is so exciting. TMZ is even better. So in H Metro today, there is an interesting story. This man has been granted or slapped with a protection order because he's asking his wife to sleep with him at least 8 times a day. Let's see what is this guy's name. If you go to H Metro, you're going to see it. He is asking his wife to sleep with him for 8 times a day. And the judge has given that protection order and told him to stop harassing her. So that is a massive story that is there in the H Metro. You can go and check it out. And that is, what is the name of this guy? It's named here. I want to give you the name. Then it says, Melosha Gwata was granted a protection order against George Kusotera at the Harare Civil Court. I hope it does George Zimstad. That is the guy that has been granted this protection order, and he makes so many demands that she is now fed up of it. When some people are even failing to make one demand a month, and this guy is making 8 demands a day. So what normally happens is, and I want to give you guys an update on the Mumbe. So I'm getting calls every day to say, I want the Mumbe from the UK or USA and whatever. So I'm going to be reviving a delivery this week. So you can WhatsApp me there. But unfortunately, our courier fees have gone up dramatically. So the courier fee for Mumbe right now, just a small 100 grams, is now at 1,200 rands. That is almost $55. Whereas the actual Mumbe itself is $25. So now you have to pay $75 if you want to get a delivery of a small pack. But it's worth it. I can assure you, Kuti, you're going to join that guy who you wear protection order if you get it. Then let's look at the comments. The comments quickly. Our country is being mortgaged. Yes, Mkoma Peter, I am very concerned about Mnangagwa's approach. Mnangagwa has got no holistic vision of where the country needs to go. He is a korokoza. He does a small thing here, the small thing there. There's no plan, there's no measure. So Mnangagwa is a problem. He is the problem right now in Zimbabwe. And we need to address Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa needs to leave, and he's the problem in Zimbabwe. And I don't know how this can be done. ED is looting last kicks of a dying horse. About LGBTQ, this needs to be quelled. Mkoma Jonathan, no, Mkoma, let me explain to you what the problem is. Young guys want this thing. I don't understand it because, as I said to you, when you grew up, it was not possible. But young guys want this thing. Go and read the story that I'm telling you about. This young man, the father, found out about it after reading his messages. It's not that he's forced. He is a Form 4 young guy. He's looking for these guys. And many other guys are looking for it. And when they took away his phone, the man was so desperate that he looked for the mother's phone and found the mother looking for his boyfriend. So it's not something that is, you can easily say culture and all that. You actually have to deal with it. And you could be sitting in your house now with a son who is in a relationship. As what happened to this father. he found out that his father, his son was in a relationship. And then he went to a group, a WhatsApp group, and found out that it's not only 1 or 2 people. There is 1,000 youngsters in this group. And Isusu, when you grow up, as I said, women, like, there's no question about where you need to go. You need to find a woman. But now it's crazy. Guys are finding an option of going to a guy. That's crazy. It's not crazy, but I just don't get it. Harare is a crazy place. I still remember in the 1990s, women were sleeping in Komachaka. They were not. That was a force. There was a guy who came from Germany who was doing that thing. Here, I'm talking about. There is someone right now who's phoning his boyfriend right now, as you speak, and 1,000 is a lot. It's a lot. On the one hand, it is looking not so good, and the other hand, it is looking good. I've never said it is looking good. This vision is very small. That is the problem. Mnangagwa's vision is too small. Zimbabwe never developed under Mnangagwa because he's got a poor vision. And Mnangagwa is piecemeal. His approach is piecemeal. He starts a small thing there, he doesn't finish. He starts a bridge there, he doesn't finish. The Guaishangan is not finished. If Mnangagwa would just finish everything that was started by Mugabe, stop starting new stuff, and finish everything that Mugabe started, at least we'll say that Mnangagwa has done something. Tell me one thing that Mnangagwa has finished. Right now, can you name anything that Mnangagwa has finished? It's shocking. Mnangagwa, probably the worst person in terms of projects. I've never seen such a thing in my whole life, where a president just opens things and never finishes them. And then after that, he goes to the next thing and never finishes. Right now, he doesn't even know where to go. Mnangagwa doesn't know where to go right now. He's totally confused because of failure to finish. That is Mnangagwa's problem. He doesn't have the killer instincts. He's got the right idea of starting, but to finish, that is Mnangagwa's problem. And I often see this when I walk around Harare. Do you see all those service stations where you are driving and there's no one on the service stations? That is the legacy of Mnangagwa. Poor investment. What is the decision? How is that decision to investment? Start with the basics. And we always talk about high-speed rail. What has Mnangagwa done with the high-speed rail right now? Nothing. What has Mnangagwa done with everything that he goes and announces? Nothing. That is the problem with Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa Mnangagwa is destroying our country. That man, all he does is go and hand out cars. Probably that's the only thing that he can do. But then what happens to those cars? Why does he have to hand them over again after a few years? It means most of them are now broken. So I would like to thank all of you for watching, and I'll be back in the evening to give you more updates. And in fact, what I will do is I want to give you a breakdown of the effects of Mve, why the people are cutting it down so much in Harare. What are the side effects? What is the dosage? What people are saying in Harare. And I'll do that tonight. So if I forget, remind me when I come here so that I tell you, does it really work? How do you use it? When do you have to stop? And why it is such a craze in Zimbabwe where people are cutting down trees daily. If you look at VP Tshinga space carefully, you will see it's starting to look like Mdara Bobo. Let's see. I've got Tshinga's picture here. This is Tshinga, right? A few years ago. Tshinga is a very interesting character, right? I don't know what to make of Tshinga, but this is Tshinga's old face. I think that is now starting to look like Mugabe. I don't know, man. I'll find yesterday's picture. But all I know is that he's going to play a very big part in what's happening next. So anyway, thank you very much, everyone, for watching. And a good day to you all. See you again today at 10 minutes.